My name is Hannah Kay and I am an allergy practitioner. Besides my NATE training, I'm also trained as a medical intuitive and a brain gym practitioner. During my NATE training, I have learned to re-educate a person's body to relax when it comes into contact with a substance instead of seeing it as a threat. People speak about allergies, sensitivities, intolerances. It can be a bit confusing. Within NATE and within this video, I'm going to speak about an allergy as soon as the body has an overreaction when it comes into contact with a substance. So your allergy can range anything from a mild sensitivity on the one hand to anaphylactic shock on the other hand, where you die because you've come into contact with an allergen. The challenge with allergies is that you have such a wide range of allergic reactions that we often don't even realize that what we are experiencing is triggered by an allergy. We have the obvious allergic reactions like your hay fever, your rashes, your welts on the skin. With your digestive system, you could have problems with diarrhea or constipation or abdominal bloating. Then we have many not so obvious allergy symptoms. For example, your ADD, your ADHD, learning difficulties because you have poor memory or just lack of concentration, your brain fog. All of those have a strong allergy component to it. Your autism, your autoimmune disorders also have a strong allergy component to it. Basically, as soon as you have a condition or symptoms or an illness where people say you should start to change your diet, that you have to start avoiding major food groups, guaranteed there is an allergy component to the conditions and the symptoms that you have. Our emotions also are affected by our diet, and so it is also affected by our allergies. For example, symptoms of allergies can be aggression, anxiety, your bipolar, depression. All of those can have a strong allergy component to it. Other effects of allergies can be frequent urination, liver disorders, kidney problems, you name it. Basically, most illnesses have an allergy component to it. And that is why it's really important that we learn to desensitize the body and get rid of these allergies so that your health can improve. How do allergies start is $1 million question that I don't know if anybody has been able to answer that question completely. There is a theory that I've come across that makes a lot of sense to me, and it goes as follows. When you are having a traumatic experience and at the same time you come into contact with a substance, your body will associate the trauma with the substance and it will start to interpret it as danger, and that is how an allergy then is started. However, it can be that that substance had nothing to do with the trauma. For example, you are watching a movie and you are eating popcorn. You're watching a horror movie and you are having a terrible fright because of a scene in the movie. Your heart is racing, you're sweating, whatever it is that you're experiencing. Your body is now associating this reaction with the popcorn, and that is then how your allergy for corn and popcorn can start. Another example of an allergy that is formed can be what has happened to many of us when we were young. Many times it has happened that when you are upset and crying because of something, your parents decided, let me give her something sweet or him something sweet to calm him down. But then your body started to associate this upset feeling with the sugar. And today, many people are very sensitive to sugar. To prevent that you form new allergies, it is really important that you only eat in a relaxed, happy environment. If you're upset, don't eat until you have calmed down. Because when you eat and you have an argument at the dinner table at the same time, your body will associate the argument with the food and will create an allergy, a sensitivity for that food. We've now talked about how allergies can start in your own life, but we have also inherited allergies. How is that possible? Well, did you know that when you have a traumatic experience, it actually changes your DNA? Now, this changed DNA is passed on from generation to generation. That is how we evolve as a species, but we want to improve as a species. So when you desensitize for an allergy, you also change your DNA, and then you can prevent future generations from being allergic to the same allergens as you were allergic for. It is a theory that your DNA changes when you are desensitized for an allergen. And this theory is based on the observation that when an adult is desensitized for allergens before they have children, then their children and their grandchildren do not have those same allergies as they had as an adult. It is a known fact that stress aggravates allergies. Did you know that the allergy symptoms that you have are just the tip of the iceberg? We have stress in our body that is triggered by our inability to absorb the major foods properly. We have stress caused by unresolved trauma, and especially early childhood trauma. We have grudges that we are holding towards ourselves and other people. You name it. All these things are stored in the body, adding to the total amount of stress that we hold within our body. Daily life is stressful for many of us. We have a wide range of emotions, and especially the negative emotions add to the stress. Our anxiety, our anger and frustration just adds to the stress that is already stored in the body. Did you know that the stress is triggered by our belief system? For example, if you're in the car on your way to the meeting and you're running late, it depends on your belief system if you're going to be relaxed or if you're going to be upset. Well, if you think, well, hopefully other people will be late as well, or somehow it will work out, I can phone them and let them know, it's all I can do, and then you relax as to your best ability. Or you might be thinking, oh no, you see, everything always goes wrong for me, and now I'm late for this meeting and people are going to be upset. That belief system will fuel anxiety and anger and frustration. If we want to reduce our allergy symptoms and get rid of the allergies, we need to get rid of the stress that is stored in our body. And I'm going to share with you a couple of techniques that you can use to do so. Firstly, to do brain gym on a daily basis is very beneficial. Brain gym are exercises that integrate and activate the mind and the body, pulling us out of survival mode, and with that we are less likely to misinterpret current events as stressful. As I mentioned earlier, much of the stress that we've got stored in our body is caused by the grudges that we hold and our inability to forgive. Forgiveness is so important because when we hold a grudge, as Caroline Myers put it, it is like trying to kill somebody while drinking the poison yourself. You are attacking your own body with these grudges. The other person might not even be aware of what's going on. Forgiveness is not about if the other person deserves it or not. It is about you to stop wishing that your past was different so that you can move on. You accept what was and now focus on your daily life. I see it with my clients that every time when we work on forgiveness, they have so much more energy afterwards. That means that the body has more energy to heal itself. A number of people are skeptical of the idea that the mind and the body are connected. Let me do a little exercise with you. Think of a pleasant situation. Notice, how do your muscles feel? How relaxed are they? Now think of a stressful situation, like being stuck in traffic. How do your muscles feel now? Are they as relaxed as they were before? Most likely not. This is now a practical example of how our muscles are affected by our thinking. If our muscles are affected by our thinking, and we have muscles all over our body, then it is safe to assume that our whole body is affected by our thinking. That is why I suggest that you're going to learn how to release these emotions and beliefs that no longer serve you so that you can reduce the amount of stress in your body. I'm now going to share with you a technique on how to release these emotions and beliefs that no longer serve you and how to replace them with supportive ones. What we're going to do is you're going to take 2 fingers and you're going to run them away from the body over the head to the bottom of your neck. By running this governing meridian backwards, it is as if we are erasing these beliefs and emotions out of our body, and then we feel more relieved afterwards. I find it highly beneficial to use this running the governing meridian backwards in combination with a release statement. So let's start with our frustration that we want to release. So you take your fingers and you say, I call upon the divine to release my frustration. Release this frustration in the most appropriate way on all levels, known and unknown. Neutralize the known and unknown memories that reinforce this frustration. Release what I've taken on from others, including the collective consciousness, what I have inherited from previous generations, and what I have passed on to the next generation. And I replace this frustration with love, joy, peace, forgiveness, and an attitude of gratitude. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. In the name of love, so be it. In this release statement, I call upon the divine, but you can call on anything that you want to call on. It can be your higher self or a religious figure. Do what works for you. But by calling upon something, you're choosing to bring in the energy of something bigger than just your personality. Because it's difficult for your personality, who's experiencing all these emotions, to pull itself out of its own hole. If you find when you do that release statement and you don't feel much better yet, it's also good to analyze what is the thought that triggered that emotion. Is it that I feel life never works out for me? If that is so, then it's time to let go of that belief too. Now that the body is familiar with the release statement, we don't always have to use the whole release statement every time. It is good to use it the first time, and follow-up times you can just say, I release the belief, life never works out for me. I release my belief that life never works out for me. And you can even close your eyes and do this until you feel a shift within yourself. I release my belief, life never works out for me. And there I had a sigh, and that can often be an indication that something shifted. It is really advisable that every day you clean up your emotional baggage. Just like we clean our house, at least hopefully you do, clean your house every day, because if we don't, we just collect so much dirt and rubbish. The same applies to our mind. It is good to do some release work every day so that you can let go of those negative emotions and beliefs so they don't have to trip you up and build up into diseases further down the line. Now we want to replace these negative emotions and beliefs with a new one, and we do the following. You take your hand from the groin area and you stroke it up to your chin while you're saying what you want to put into your system. So for example, I can say now, I call upon the divine to infuse in me the belief life works out for me more and more each day, on all levels and in all situations. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. In the name of love, so be it. Allergies have reached epidemic levels by now. That is why I decided to create this self-help program called Beyond Allergies. The program is going to be a combination of work that you're going to do on yourself daily, where you release those emotions and beliefs that no longer serve you, and you do a few minutes of brain gym every day. Then you also will receive these audios that you're going to listen to. You can play them even at night, and they will assist you to reprogram your subconscious beliefs that you have about life and about foods, so that you can now be able to absorb the foods better. Like any self-help program, we're not making the claim that this is going to now miraculously heal all your allergies. And especially if you are anaphylactic, this should be done in consultation with your medical practitioner. I do guarantee you that if you do this program properly, the stress levels in your life will go down. For optimum results, it's best to combine the self-help program with individual consultations so that your specific issues can be addressed. We can do these consultations one-on-one in our offices, or we can do it at a distance via Skype or the phone. If you are interested and you want more information, please visit our website, where you also can find the brain gym movements and read more about this program called Beyond Allergies.